I'm about to start a really intensive Ayurvedic gut cleanse. And so one of the things we've been talking about is how do you build up a healthy gut lining as we draw closer and closer to the cleanse. So today I'm going to make one of my ultimate favorites. It's a comfort food, but one that is, in my view, pretty guilt-free. I'm using some pink lentils, and I am going to make some dal with some spinach and some broad beans. Now, the great thing about dal is that it can be eaten as a soup on its own, or you can couple it with some rice or some roti or anything really, depending on how you're feeling. But if soaked well in terms of the lentils and if prepared properly, you are creating a really nourishing, pacifying, and also very easily digestible food that your body and your gut are going to absolutely love you for. Okay, so take a look at this. What I've got is I've got some soaked pink lentils. And the reason that we soak them, and I can only comment on it from an Ayurvedic perspective, is that when we soak rice, lentils, nuts, any of those food items, we allow for, in this instance, the lentil to become far more digestible, which means that it is a far more palatable way to eat for both our gut. So the lentils have cooked beautifully, and I'm going to strain them and then blend them down to quite a fine texture because I prefer my dal to be finely textured. Let me show you what we're going to use to create the tempering that's going to go into the dal. So if we swivel over a little bit here, I've got some tomatoes, an onion, and then all the spices that we're going to be using. You can see the spinach in the backdrop. So I've got fenugreek, cumin, black mustard seeds, some curry leaves, turmeric, and then of course my favorite, as you know, chilies. So what I'm doing now is I'm just dry roasting the curry leaves with the black mustard seeds, fenugreek, and cumin, just to activate all those flavors before I add in the oil, the onions, the chili, and the tomatoes. Take a look at this. Man, the flavors, the smell, it's just absolutely intoxicating. So it's all the spices together with the tomatoes and the onions and just a little bit of salt and pepper. And I have blended down the dal. So here sits the dal, really, really smooth consistency. I'm going to give it about another minute or two and let the tomatoes cook down a bit more, and then I'm going to add the turmeric and the dal in and let that cook, and then we will add the spinach and the broad beans in. Look at our beautiful dal. And now what we're going to do is we are going to add in the spinach and the beans that I picked from my garden. So I'm going to add the beans in whole. You can see that the spinach is finely chopped. This is really a matter of preference in terms of how you would like to consume the dal. So take a look at this, our finished product. The dal is going to be nourishing, it's going to be pacifying, it will satiate and fill the stomach without making you feel heavy or bloated. And I've added in a lot of coriander. Coriander is, well, it's my favorite herb, but it's also very pitta pacifying. And as the weather starts to warm up, the coriander is going to help the physical body to cool down. Enjoy. I've prepared this on a Sunday. I'm going to enjoy it for the next couple of days with some rice on its own. Yummy.